Again, 4 functional game skills. Running with the ball, first touch, passing, all those skills that are, and you guys coach at the senior level, some 18s, 20s coaches here, and even maybe even some first grade. They're the things that I've been told, okay? Passing, running with the ball, 1v1 skills and first touch. They're the things that I've been told around the world, and in particular in Australia, that our kids aren't good at. They're coming and playing for, you know, sporting club in the under-18s. They've been in the academies for 3 or 4 years, and they can't pass the ball properly. They can't, you know, run with the ball. Their 1v1 skills, they haven't got them. Their first touch is like all over the place. Well, we've got to fix that at this level, and we've got to make sure that our coaches at this level are doing those things. And your buy-in to that is that you can help facilitate that. You can help facilitate that by sometimes, and we'll talk about it later in another slide, by sometimes sending your players down. Maybe you go yourself in the 18s or 20s. You show some interest in those local academies or centres, and then all of a sudden the players get to know who you are. And what happens from that, who knows? You might end up with 4 or 5 of the better players. Rather than ringing them up at the last minute and saying how good are you going or what's going on, you might even see a rough diamond down there. You go, okay, that guy doesn't do things quite well, but I can see some potential there. And you're on the front foot straight away. Just that last bit was a commitment from the FFA. Oh, where am I? Come back. Back we go. Sorry. Okay. Just a commitment from the FFA to provide ongoing support and review every 6 months. That's my responsibility. Every 6 months to come and provide support, not to have a holiday in India, to come here and provide support, to make sure that what we're putting in place here is being done. Okay, so it's not a, that's their problem, we'll leave it with them. It's back and get hands dirty, get involved in the centres. That's the commitment from FFA. And by the way, it's over and above what I normally do in Australia, which is pretty busy, but never too busy to develop footballers and coaches. Here's how you'll be, if you're a coach out in the centres, here's how you'll get feedback. A supervisor, and we're hoping to get, if we've got 15 or 20 centres, we're hoping to get 4 or 5 of these roving supervisors. Quality people that don't have to be technically gifted. We don't want them to be technically gifted. I don't need an A licensed coach turning up at a youth centre and telling the youth centre how to coach. It's not his job or her job. Their job is to go and look at these things. Does it look like football? Has it got an area? Rules? Has it got objectives? Has it got an opposition? If it doesn't have an opposition, guess what? No decision making. Trained monkey could do that job. Pass the ball there, run there. Pass the ball here, run here. Pass the ball there, run there. Doesn't make any sense, because that's not what you do in football, is it? Is it or not? It's not what you do in football. You have an opponent that makes you make a decision. I'm playing the ball to you. You have to make a decision to move. I have to make a decision to pass. Doesn't happen if you just do drills all the time. Players are engaged. We always talk about, in Australia, and this is one of mine along with the Australian Sports Commission, players engaged in 2 minutes. We don't want a sermon. We don't want kids listening to coaches for 10 minutes explaining what's going on. 2 minutes, play. Get them playing. And then you can start to add in rules as you go. Those that coach know what I'm talking about. Safe environment. How important is that? How important is a safe environment? It's not just a safe environment in terms of broken glass and things that might be on the field. Activities are conducted away from fences. Sometimes in India or even in Australia it's not possible, because in the country areas it's a bit difficult. You're not, you can use certain areas of the park and you have to be careful. Games and activities to reduce possible collisions. So again, these are things that coaches need to follow to make sure their players are safe. The coach used demonstrations to reinforce the topic in a positive manner. Players respond to positive talk. They don't respond to, you guys are in the workforce, you know, the boss doesn't get much out of you if he starts yelling at you. If he starts talking in a decent manner and treating you like an equal and a human, you start to respect that. And just because we're bigger than the players we coach doesn't mean we can push them around and boss them around. It actually means that we should respect them more. Demonstrations in a positive manner. So I want a player to do a certain thing. I facilitate his improvement. Could you make that run better? Where could you make that run? And I've done it with the guys this week. And they solve it. They go there. But if they don't, then I help them. And then I demonstrate what I want them to do. I might make the run myself. And this is what we call coaching process. The coach modified, and this is what I'm big on. Coach modified the session when necessary to challenge the players. When necessary. We're playing 5-on-5. We're trying to keep the ball. The Blues against the Reds. Okay, we're trying to keep the ball off each other. The ball keeps changing hands all the time. So I'm not getting any continuity in keeping the ball. So the coach needs to then change it. He doesn't turn to the players, as I've heard plenty of coaches, turn to the players and say, oh, you can't do it, you're not good enough, you can't pass the ball. Well, hold on. Look at how you might change that. Look at how you might change it to affect it. We might take a player out of one team, make it 5-on-4. Might make the area bigger, give them more room to make decisions. More space, more time, helps them make decisions. We might make it 3 against 5 to help the 5 keep the ball. And then we build it up from there. We bring it back to what it should be. Because players need confidence to know that they're going to do it. You can't just do that and then say, oh, you can't do it, you're not good enough. Well, I've got news for you, they are good enough. They just need a little bit of time and they need a bit of persistence. And the players respond to the coach in a positive manner. That's big. Many, many coaches around the world at youth level, it's all about them, it's not about the players. You get the players to respond in a positive manner, you've got a group that's going to learn very quickly off what you're doing. Goa Football Association, discuss and approve the proposal and agree to adopt the program. Make changes as they see fit. Your program, Goa Football Association program, you're part of that. All of you guys out here, ladies and gentlemen, are part of the program, part of the process. You should have some input. You should pick up the phone and ring the General Secretary and the President or someone else that you can touch base with and make your suggestions. And if they make sense and it's good for the greater good of the game, I'm sure they'll listen to you and say, yeah, that's not a bad idea, I think we'll try that. Organise regular refresher courses for current youth centre coaches, assistants and newly identified people. We just don't want the 20, if it's 20 centres, we don't want the 20 coaches just to be there forever. We want 40 coaches, we want 60 coaches. And I'm sure that these people will develop more supervisors, more overseers, more people to help out so that we have a bigger group of coaches, a bigger base of coaches to select from when they go to the next level. And we talk about a coaching pathway. Talked about this before. During the off-season, coaches and players will be involved in community services activities like cleaning drives and the such, and be given training in first aid and life-saving through another ASOP partner, the Royal Life Saving Society of India. And we've already had good communications with them, and Anoop has had good communications with them about what their role is in the off-season. Some strategies that you may not have heard of before. You may be doing them, by the way, which I thank you very much. Well done. If you haven't, have a look, see if it fits what you're doing. It might not. It might trigger a little thought in your mind that you might, oh, hold on, we'll improve on that, or we'll add to that, or we'll take away from it, or do whatever we need. Come and try days. Everybody comes to try. Everybody. We advertise. You know, sporting club advertises a come and try day for mums, dads, players, sisters, brothers. Everybody comes along and tries. And we involve everybody. Now, how you do that, how you organise that, if you have jumping castles, whatever you do, it's what you do. But the idea is to get the people to come and try football, to come and see, experience how good football can be. Could it be a central point? How often would it be? How often would it be? Would it be twice a year, once a year? Coincide it with matches. Now, I don't know the rules and regulations, but certainly it's a great way to get people to come to your matches. That you have a come and try day outside the ground or close to the ground or something like that. I don't know the exact situation. I'm throwing out ideas here, all right? Some people will grab them. Some people will grab them. Throw that little hook out. They'll grab that and they'll say, yeah, that's not a bad idea. We can do that. We can get an extra 50 or 100 people in that never come and played football before. School visits and clinics, commitment from clubs to have players visit schools. Now I know that your schools 8:30 to 1:30, some schools go on Saturdays and things like that, and I do know that you guys have a much better setup than we do in Australia in terms of being involved with schools. You've got a little bit more access than we've had. Could it be that some of your overseas players, or could it be that some of your high-flying players that don't do anything on certain days could go and visit a school now and again and tied into their contract? They're contracted to play football, but I'm sure that they're contracted to play to provide services, promotional services for the club. Well, that's a really good, service. Go to the school, do a development clinic, go down to the centres, do some specialised training. You've got a goalkeeper, you've got a goalkeeper coach at your club, and you can send your 18s and 20s down to the centre just to remind them of where they came from and to make sure that they keep their feet on the ground, to remind them where they came from and to see how we've changed things in terms of coaching and helping. Small-sided games before matches or at half-time. Maybe with free entry for one parent or both parents. You weren't going to get the parents at the game anyway, were you? So they're not going to pay, so you wouldn't have got the money through the gate. So what does it matter? We're promoting the game. We're promoting the game. And as I said, I'm not sure of your protocols here.